This is like watching paint dry. Oh, wait. I am actually watching paint dry. Hi everybody, it's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and this is my weekly vlog for Monday, July the 10th, vlog number 26. Hope you had a good week. The week was a little bit okay for me, a little bit okay. I mean, it wasn't anything real exciting, but I'm prepping for my birthday and I have some things to show you for that. And I was playing around with some acrylic paints, and you saw in the beginning, the teaser, where I have been putting together some acrylic skins. Now, I had a request from one of my subscribers, and there goes my email, and I forgot to turn that off before I started this morning, so give me just a second so we're not interrupted again. Okay, that's done. So as I was saying, I've had one of my subscribers ask me about doing a video showing what to do with acrylic skins. And that gave me the inspiration to go searching on the internet and on YouTube to see what other people are doing with acrylic skins. And it's amazing what people are doing. Some are actually making jewelry out of acrylic skins. They're making their own beads from them. I'm not that much into jewelry making, although I've done some wire weaving and things like that, so I might give that a try as embellishment pieces for mixed media. But you saw in my teaser, I've got two big trays of acrylic skins drying. I think I overdid it with the pouring medium on these ones, but they've been drying now. I think I poured them on Friday morning, and this is now Monday morning, so they've had the whole weekend, the whole of Friday, and they look like they're pretty much dry, but they're not cured enough to use yet. They're still a little sticky. So I think I can put a top coat on top of them now to protect them. That's just some soft gel, although I think I might just try some gloss medium this time, like the matte medium but in gloss, and see how that works out. And then I think I'm going to try to make some art with them. Now, I had some skins that I had made previously, and I did just that. I did some art. And so here's my first piece with just using acrylic skins. Bit of a shine on it because I put a gloss finish on it. I actually used some iridescent medium as well that I painted over top of it. And I added a little bit of Inca Gold in certain veins. It's a little on the dark side, I think, for color, but actually for my first effort, I don't think it turned out too bad with it. But I have seen several videos. There is a YouTube channel, maybe I should review it in a future vlog, but I just found it. It's called Cheap Joe's Stuff, and I believe it's an art store somewhere in the States. And they give little short videos on how to use various products. Kind of like Michaels does their own YouTube channel, Blickdick does their own channel, things like that. It's a way to, sell their product. But there's one lady on there who does these kind of things, and her stuff is beautiful. So maybe I will review that site in a future vlog. But just look it up, Cheap Joe's, and you'll find it. And hers are gorgeous. So anyways, for my first effort, it's not too bad. I think next time I won't bother going over it with iridescent medium. I thought that would give it a little bit of shimmer, but what it actually did was, and it's hard to see, you can see the streaky parts there. I think you can see them now. That's the iridescent medium. And that's how it dried, and I'm not really happy with that. But, first effort, what the heck? Got to experiment to learn about these things. And what else? Other things I did? Oh, I also did a mixed media piece. Now this I'm very proud of, okay? I used Mike Deacon's little veneer wood cutouts. He has these available on his website, MikeDeaconArt.com. And I bought a bunch of them, and I got these ones that were splatters, and so this is what I did with them. Now, I was experimenting with this. This center piece that has the blue on it was a piece of photo glossy 8.5 by 11 paper, the stuff you print photos on in your printer. I had seen a video where someone was using that with different mediums on it and acrylic paints, and I thought I'd give that a try. I didn't intend to make this. It's just what evolved from it. So on that piece of photo glossy paper, I added some texture paste. That's where you add through a stencil. You get this brickwork that's here, and you get these. Oh, this is just modeling paste that I just kind of threw on and roughed up for texture. And then the color that I used is actually acrylic inks. I believe the ones by Liquitex that come in the little balls with the eyedroppers. I just dropped 3 different shades of blue onto that and used a baby wipe to model them together. And then I decided to have these pieces kind of lift off from the background. I went over them with a little bit of Inca Gold, which is a gold rub. I forgot that I had that stuff actually, and actually it's kind of fun, and I think it comes in other colors. And so maybe when I go out shopping this week, I'll go and take a look and see if I can find some more colors of it, because I kind of like using it, and a little bit goes a long way. Then I had these pieces from Mike Deacon, the wooden pieces, the splats, and they just come plain uncolored wood. They've got a bit of a beigey texture, woody, wood-like color to them. So I did them in gold, just some gold metallic paint. Then I stamped on top of them with a script stamp. And then I went into my Tim Holtz findings and found these little gears and this clock face and whatnot, and just glued those on top. I went around the edges with some archival black ink, again to give it depth, and I went around the edges of this piece of paper with that as well. Then I thought, well, I really need to mount it on something. So all this is canvas board. It's not even canvas board. What do they call it? I'm looking here on the back of it. Illustration board. And I already had a bunch of this. It's cheap. And I decided that I'd make a border. So this is oxide inks, Tim Holtz's oxide inks, through a stencil. Used a couple of different shades of blue. I think it's Faded Jeans and Broken China. And then I spritzed them with water just to get them that, you know, mottled look too, which the oxide inks are really good with. And marked off where this piece was going to go and glued it down. I actually used double-sided tape. Then I decided this board was kind of warping a little bit with the amount of water I put on it with the oxide ink, so I just put a second piece and I just bound 2 pieces together, so it's double thickness here, and that gets rid of my warping. Gives it a little bit of substantial weight as well, not too heavy. And then I added a little gold border. I just used a gold paint pen and a little squiggly border, double one, all the way around to finish it off. Sprayed it all with a clear finishing fixative at the end, and wow, piece is done. And I'm really quite happy with it. I think it turned out kind of nice. So I want to do more of these kind of things, and you'll see them as I get them done, but I went on the weekend to the dollar store and I picked up a bunch of different types of paper bags, and some with handles. So I'm kind of thinking of doing mixed media on a paper bag. Now, this isn't new to me. Again, I lift most of my ideas, okay? If you haven't figured that out by now, I do. I lift most of my ideas. But I think it was on, what's her name? Her name is Marta, I think, but her website, and I've reviewed it before, is Marmy Smart Art, and she's excellent. She's really excellent. She does all kinds of things in mixed media with stuff that's just laying around. Well, she recently did one on basically a paper bag that has one of those paper handle kind of things on it, and it came out gorgeous. So I'm thinking of doing the same. The only difference is she didn't use her bag as a bag. She used it as her background and glued it shut. I think I'm going to try and keep it from gluing it shut, and so that it can be opened up. Now, the one problem with that is, depending on what the elements are that I put on it, it could get a little heavy and the bag may just fall over. I don't know. But if I keep the elements light enough, it might be okay. And I'm just thinking, kind of designer gift bag idea. Mind you, you'd only want to give it to people you really like, because the amount of time and effort you're putting into it, you want to give it to somebody who'd appreciate that. So, speaking of things that people might appreciate, I was also searching on YouTube, and I can't remember what site. Oh no, I do. It's Apple Lover 53. She was making a card and showing you, and she uses the Brother Scan and Cut a lot for her cards, and so she was making this kind of card, and I thought it was really cool because watch what it does when you open it up. Whoa! Isn't that cool? So, I've made this card as a gift. It's going with a gift, actually. Matches the gift. And I did it with my Brother Scan and Cut. She showed you how to make that, how to put it into that. And so I can make as many of these as I want in the future. And it looks a lot more complicated than it really is. I think she called it a twist and cut card. Anyways, if you go to Apple Lover 53, and you don't need a scan and cut or a Cricut. You can use any electronic cutting machine. You can do it without an electronic cutting machine. But if you check her out, Apple Lover 53, you can find the instructions for how to make this kind of card. It's kind of cool. Okay, so what's coming up next here? Okay, next we're going to go to the YouTube channel of the week, and that's Bella Rose Creative. So the YouTube channel of the week is this one called Bella Rose Creative. I just stumbled upon her very, very recently, and I'm really impressed by the quality of her videos and also the content. She uses the latest products and shows you how to use them, as well as giving you great inspiration for art journaling pages, scrapbook pages, card making ideas, that kind of thing. Her stuff is very, very nice, and there isn't a lot, if any, talking. Her videos have a music soundtrack to them, and she puts in some written captions to tell you what she's doing. They're not tremendously long, so you can watch them in 10 to 15 minutes, and I find them very inspiring. She's very creative. So check out Bella Rose Creative. So I wrote to Bella Rose to let her know that I was intending to do a review of her channel, and she very graciously said that was great. I told her I wasn't going to say anything negative. I don't do negative reviews, okay? I am not going to pick on anybody. I wouldn't want them picking on me. I'm not going to pick on anybody. If it's a website I don't like, I'm just simply not going to review it. Simple as that. Okay, so let's get to what's pissing me off this week. All right, I had a phone call this week from a charity group. I mean, that's not unusual. They call all the time, looking for, of course, money or my help, my support. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about that more in a second. But first of all, I want to tell you what pisses me off about charity groups. All right, there are tons of worthwhile charities out there that are doing wonderful work, especially the ones I think that are working with, horrible diseases like cancer and MS and you name it. But that's the problem. There are so many of them. They're all competing for our money. So they're constantly bombarding us with phone calls, or they're standing outside the door of where you're shopping. And it's funny too, a lot of these places will stand outside liquor stores, okay, beer stores, that kind of thing. Really, it's the guilt. That's how they're using it. You know, if you can go in there and you can spend your money on what is considered a luxury item or an item that is not essential to us, like wine, beer, liquor, whatever, then you can give them some money. So they're playing on the guilt, and they all do this. And I think that's what is pissing me off more than anything else. Inside the stores, you get up to the checkout now. Would you like to donate to this charity, or that charity? Well, last week I did my weekly shopping. I went to several stores, and each one of those stores wanted money for a different charity. Now, my standard answer to all of these is, and call me a Grinch, whatever, is no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And here's why. I do give to charity, but I want to be selective about the charity that I give it to. The first charity in my life is me. Okay, I'm on a pension. Yeah, I'm in better financial situation than probably a lot of people. But, I earned that money. And so it's my decision who I give it to. I'm just not going to hand it over to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that says they're looking for money. Like, for example, I went to Chapters last week. They're collecting money for something called, for kids, Love of Reading. I don't know much about the program, but I'm sort of assuming, or what I have seen, is that they basically donate books to schools or to boys and girls groups or something like that to encourage literacy. Well, I'm all for that. Why wouldn't I be? I'm a retired English teacher. Go figure, right? Of course. However, this is why I don't give these types of charities money, is because I don't know how much of that money is actually getting to the people who need it. There's an awful lot of overhead in many of these charities, and you can search them on the internet, and you can see some of the really big charities out there, the ones that you hear about that are collecting money, millions of dollars for things like cancer research and other things like that. 75% and up of the money that's donated is going to administrative costs. Okay, yeah, there's cost involved. I mean, there's people that have to man the phones. It's not all done by volunteers. But a lot of these companies have, or charities, or not-for-profits, have CEOs. Those CEOs are not working for nothing. And I'm not saying they should work for nothing, because it's a full-time job. But do they need to be paid 6-digit salaries and up? Because some of them are. So really, how much of that money is actually going to where they say it's supposed to be going? Now here's what, come back to my example. There was one charity that a couple of years ago, they called me and they caught me at a weak moment and asked if I would campaign for them. And the way to do this was really simple. I didn't have to go door to door, and I won't go door to door. To me, that's just a form of begging, and I really don't need to have people slamming doors in my face. I always try to be polite to them when they come to the door, but it's always the same answer. No, I'm sorry. And I feel bad about it. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to feel bad about it. So this one didn't have to go door to door. All I had to do was send out this standardized letter that they sent me. They sent me a kit. It had envelopes with a pledge card in it, and you just sent it to 10 family and friends, and that's all you had to do. And when they got it, they could decide whether or not they want to send money to this charity through these pledge cards. And the pledge cards were easy to fill out. Why, you could give them a one-time donation. It's not one time, I'll come to that. Or you could put it on your credit card and give a regular amount every month, that kind of thing, lock you in on that one, all of that kind of thing. The problem I had with that was they want you to send it to family and friends because they figure that if these people know you, they're more apt to give money because they don't want to insult you or hurt your feelings. That's guilt. They're using guilt to get money. And I don't think that's right. Well, I went ahead and I did send them out, but I was very selective to who I sent them to. Actually, it was kind of a nasty little experiment. I sent them out to people that I know make decent money, that are not on the bony knees of poverty, are not on fixed incomes, that I know have a fair amount of disposable income. I only sent out 10. Out of the 10 I sent out, only one person actually donated. Okay? And this is a person that actually, out of all the ones I sent them to, was probably the lowest one on the scale in terms of affordability. But isn't that always the way? The people that don't have much are usually the people that give. You know, I see them standing outside of No Frills grocery store. Now, let's face it, I shop at No Frills because prices are good. But there's a lot of people that show up at No Frills because they don't have any choice. Food's expensive, so they shop there to get the biggest bang for their buck. I can go anywhere. I like a bargain, but you know, basically I can afford to shop where I want to shop. But these poor people, they don't have that luxury maybe. There's a guy standing at the door, or the cashier at the thing is asking them for a donation. These people are not the people that should be targeted. They're probably the people that should be receiving some of these funds. So I have a problem with that too. And yet I see these people donate. It's not a lot, but it's something. You know, and then that just makes me feel even worse. Okay, because I'm thinking, well, really? Why don't I? But I already stated why I don't. And that's not to say I don't always. I do sometimes. Got to catch me at a weak moment. But anyways, so this group, I did that. That was the end of it. Every month, if less, or even less than a month, I was getting stuff from them in the mail. And they're sending me, as a thank you in advance, they're looking for more money. They sent me little note cards, return address labels, things like that, that are already pre-printed with my name and everything on them. All this stuff. Greeting cards as well. I didn't send them any money. Did I keep the cards? Yeah, I did. I was going to throw them out, but I thought, well, they were kind of nice. So there again, it's the guilt. We gave you these nice things for free. Give us some money in return. Well, you know, if you took all that money that they spent on printing all that stuff up and put it back into the charity instead, go figure. That's part of their administration costs. Then, this was the kicker, and this is what made me think about doing this as my topic this week. I get a phone call during the week. It's from this charity group thanking me so much for my time and for what I had done before, and I knew what was coming. I knew it was coming. And they just, you know, profusely, very polite, thanking me for everything I had done in the past for them, which was diddly squat, basically. And of course, they wanted me to do it again. They wanted me to get this kit from them and send it out to, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't want to be rude, but I figured I'm not going to lie. I'm not just going to say, no, I'm not interested, and hang goodbye. I thought I would give this poor person a reason why. And of course, this is just somebody who's probably a volunteer. Maybe they get paid, I don't know, for making these phone calls. And I said, look, I did it a year ago. I'm not going to do it again, and here's why. And I told them, you're laying guilt on my family and friends for this kind of thing. And I don't like that, too. You wouldn't need to have me do this if you took the money you spent on these kits and put it back into the charity instead. And I said, and because of that, that's all administration costs. I have no idea how much money is really going where it should be going. So I said, thank you for your call. I hope you understand. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Drop dead. No, I didn't say that. I thought it. But anyways, so that's what's pissing me off this week. There's too many charities, not enough money. Everybody wants money. And you know, the funny thing too is in our country, Canada, we already have a political system and we pay a lot of taxes, and a lot of these groups get money from the government as well. They're just not out there on their own, but there never seems to be enough money. Yeah, research costs a lot of money. And you know, it wouldn't be so bad if we knew that they were actually coming closer to a cure, but all we ever hear is, yes, it's helping, and furthering our research. But I still don't see a cure for cancer, or for MS, or for cystic fibrosis, or for whatever other medical ailment we have a problem with in this day and age. I think the only people that are really benefiting, really, from that money and the research is the pharmaceutical companies, who get all the money they've invested way back 3 times over in the selling of their drugs. Okay, if you work for a drug company, if you work for one of these charities, no problem with you, okay, just with the overall organization of it. So, okay, call me a cheap bugger. Doesn't matter, doesn't hurt my feelings. All right, let's get off that topic. What's next on the agenda today? Let me see. Okay, so some new things that I did get, and I was talking about, oh, one thing I forgot. My junk journal. I did a page in my junk journal. And you know, I'm really having fun with this junk journal, because it's just very, you don't think about it. So I did these 2 pages, had this picture of a wine glass and these flowers from my deck, and I just went through my stash of bits and pieces and just pulled out bits and pieces and glued them down. Actually, I didn't glue this one down. I stapled everything. It's all stapled. Now with one of those tiny attachers by Tim Holtz. So I did make a video of this junk journal. It's junk journal video number 2. So you can find it on my channel if you're interested. Had a lady write just this morning to me saying that she must have been living under a rock. She said she didn't know about junk journals. And I really thought everybody did know about junk journals, but maybe not. But they're fun. They're easy. It's just another creative outlet for you, so you might want to give it a try. Now let me grab here, what was I going to grab? Oh yes. Got them right here. Okay, so you saw the wooden splats that I put on that mixed media piece. Well, these are some more of Mike Deacon's, what's he call them? Laser cuts. They're laser cuts out of chipboard, very thick chipboard. This is a package of gears, and this is little corner pieces. And he's got several of these, so again, go to mikedeaconart.com, check it out. They're very reasonably priced, and even the shipping's not bad on them as well. But if you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, order lots of these at once, because it's a flat rate shipping, I believe. So, you know, you might as well get as much as you can out of that. But they're very nice, and I'm going to use these in some other projects later on. And the other thing that I got new, and I'm going to insert a little video clip about that, is it came. The Cutterpillar Glow. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's a new toy, and you know how I love my toys. So watch the clip.
So here's my new toy that you saw in the teaser at the beginning of this week's vlog, and it's called the Cutterpillar Glow, not Pro. So a Cutterpillar Glow, and basically it's a light board. It's hard to get it all in the shot here, so sorry if I'm cutting off the edges. It's a light board, and it's very flat and very thin. I'll show you the edge so you can see how thin, and it's extremely light, so it would be able to very easy for you to transport it to crops or things like that. And it has a rechargeable battery in it. Now there are 2 models. This is the upper model. I think they call this the Pro model, or Premium. I think it's called the Premium. And the difference between it and the slightly cheaper one is that the other one has to be plugged in all the time. This has a rechargeable lithium battery in it, and they say it'll last for about 4 hours on one charge. It comes with a charging cable, which actually you can, it has a USB end to it, so you can plug it into a regular outlet with the little adapter that goes on the end, or you can also plug it right into your computer. So if you're at a crop, for example, and you had your computer with you, you could plug it into the side of the computer and keep it charged. So it has 4 light positions, and I'll just show you them. This is 1, 2, 3. Actually, it has 3 brightnesses. This is the brightest. Sorry about the lights that are running down here at the side. I can't do much about those. Those are my overhead lights, and they're being reflected in this. But as you can see, it's fairly bright. And it comes with, oops, sorry, disco light, wow. Okay, it comes with a self-healing mat that you can place right over the top of it. And as you can see through it. So you can cut on here as well. The other thing is it won't slide around very easily. It's got little feet on the bottom of it that allows it to stick down to the surface you're working on, and so does this mat. This mat doesn't move either. I have ordered another accessory for this, and that's the glass mat that fits over the top of it. They're coming out with some other accessories as well. They have a scoring pad too. I don't know if I'll buy that or not. I've got lots of scoring things, but it's not bad. Now, the price of this. Okay, I ordered it from from a website in the States called simpleproducts.com. It wasn't bad price. It was $119. Mind you, this is the premium. Okay, you can get the cheaper one for about $89 US. So $119 US. I actually got free shipping on it because I went through Ken's Creations No, sorry, that's not how that worked. I didn't get free shipping with it, but the shipping was not very much. Uh, it came to a total of, in Canadian money, $165, and I got it in about a week and a half or so, about 10 days. I was afraid I'd get hit with duty, but that never happened, which was great. I've also ordered the glass mat. Those were a pre-order, and they're shipping them out sometime this month in July, so I expect to get that very soon. And the glass mat wasn't very expensive. It was $24.95, I believe, US, so it came out to something like $35 Canadian, which isn't too bad at all. Now, what am I going to do with this now that I have it? I haven't got a clue. And you're going to go, well, aren't you the stupid one? Spend all that money and don't know what you're going to do with it. Okay, one thing you have to understand about me is if it's a machine, if it's something electronic, I want it. I have been thinking about getting a light board for a while. I bought Walter a fairly elaborate flat screen like light box a year or two ago for his stained glass. But really, he doesn't use it that much. I could probably use his, but it's his. I gave it to him. It was a gift. Don't want to be an Indian giver here. Oops, politically not correct, probably to say that. But anyway, so I have my own. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's great if you're going to like do some tracing. If you're going to cut out stencils by hand. That'll be great. I think it'll be okay for coloring too. I have seen some videos where people are using it for coloring so they can see their shading and things like that. I don't do a lot of coloring. But I have it. And I will find a use for it. I will use it at some point. But I think it's a very neat idea. You can get a carrying case for it as well. I didn't bother with that. So if you're somebody that, basically wants a surface that to take to a crop or something to work on, it's very sturdy. You can put a fair amount of pressure on it. I don't think it'd be a good idea to like put your full weight down on it, but yeah, I'm very impressed by the quality of it. I'm impressed with the company I ordered it from, and we'll go from there. And maybe I'll do a video someday showing how I eventually start to use this. But it's a neat toy. I've got one. You might want one too.
So it's really cool, and as I said in the video, I am waiting for the glass mat to come as well. And I'll be honest, I've had it now for, I think it came first of the week, last week. So I've had it for over a week, and I have not used it at all yet. But I have it, and I'm sure I will use it for something. It'll come in handy for it. So anyways, let's see. So now I'm going to do something that I haven't done before. And I got this idea a little bit from other YouTube videos that I watch. You know, I watch hundreds of YouTube videos in a week. I'm addicted to the YouTube. And of course you've heard me talk about, because I have reviewed her website before, Melanie Lane. And Melanie Lane, about 6 months ago, maybe less, moved to Florida. And she likes to do these little morning chats while she sits out on her, they call it a lanai. That sounds like a neat thing, a lanai. We'd call it a porch, I guess, veranda, patio, whatever, but it's a lanai. And she sits out there in the morning as the sun rises and shoots some pictures and things like that. And what I like about those, I don't watch them all the way through because after a while I get a little bored. But what's nice is to see people's living environments. You know, you see my background here every week, and you've seen my video of redoing my craft room and the whole bit. But I thought I'd show you where I sometimes spend in days that are nice out, my patio area. So I'm going to insert the little clip here. Oh, one word of warning, you're going to see a part of my anatomy you have never seen before in a video. My feet. So, it's the middle of the week, and I'm just going to insert this little piece in here because I don't often do something like this, and I thought you might like to see where I sometimes sit in the summertime between projects. So I'm just catching up on some of my YouTube videos out here while I lounge under our patio. This is actually, oops, I got my hand over the camera, sorry. Okay, let's hold this up. So this is underneath our deck in our house. We have a walkout basement, as you can see. And this is where we have our hot tub and this sitting area right here. You can see my feet. And in behind us, now the sun is really bright and I don't think I can change that. We have a forest. So it's nice out here. It's a July afternoon and just thought that maybe I'd show you this because here in Canada we don't get that much summer weather, only a couple of months of it if we're lucky, and this summer's been very rainy, so I thought you might want to see my deck area or my patio area. So let's see, what else has gone on this week? Well, let's see, we had RMG Friday this past Friday. Not a lot of people. It was actually a really nice night. We've had a lot of rain, as you know. I've talked about that in other vlogs. And so actually Friday was a really nice day, and Friday evening was a very nice night as well. Although we did get some rain later that evening. A little cloud burst. Came down pretty heavy though. Kind of bent over our Rose of Sharon bush in the front of the house. So while there was only about 95 people. Usually we average anywhere over 350 up to 400. But it is the summer, and people tend to go away, have cottages, that kind of thing. So no surprise there. And on Saturday night we were at a birthday party. It was a semi-surprise birthday party for a friend of ours. His birthday actually was in April. Now it's July, so I guess that was a surprise. But it was very nice. We ate outdoors. They had a whole tent thing set up, a canopy with tables and everything like that, and they have a nice backyard with a nice patio area and the whole bit. So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, that was great. So let's see what's coming up. Well, I'm going to a printing press workshop at the Art Gallery this Thursday. They have this big printing press, but no one knew how to use it. And I did volunteer to learn how to use it because anything to do with printing, I'm there. I'm really fascinated, like with book binding, printing presses, book presses, this kind of stuff. But they decided they thought they had somebody else that might know, like actually had used those kind of things before, and I guess they did find somebody, and so they're doing a little workshop with it, and I'm really interested in that to see how this all works. I don't think it's the kind of printing press that you put letters on to print like newspapers. It's more or less, I think you etch on plates and then print from there with ink on them. But I'll see on Thursday night. And then, well, the big highlight for me, because I've been planning this, as you know, it's my birthday. Actually, this Friday is my birthday. It's my 60th. And Saturday, I'm having a big party. And I'm going all out with this party. Went to order my food, however. See, my whole idea is I want this party to be fun for my guests and everybody, but with very little actual me having to clean up or put things out, that kind of thing. I want to make everything sort of self-serve and easy. And so I'm ordering all of this food from one of my local grocery stores. Went in to order it, and they told me they're not going to do that for a while. They don't have it available. And the reason is we recently had a law passed in Canada that all food outlets, restaurants now, no matter what kind of restaurant they are, have to show the caloric amount of all their foods on their menu. The idea is that if we know how many calories we're stuffing in our mouth, maybe we'll be more selective about the food that we eat. And I'm all for that too. But apparently they can't do these platters because they haven't figured out the caloric intake of the various foods, because the platters have various things on them. And until they can figure that out, they can't sell them. So I went, oh, great. I was counting on this. But I did find another place, and actually I think the other place is a little cheaper, and I think it's better food. So we'll see when I get it, but I've ordered my stuff from there. I have more things I have to pick up this week for the party. I've got everything laid out, I've got everything planned, and we're going to have games, and it's going to be fun, and when people come in the door, they're going to get one of these. This is a little badge. They have to wear it. And there's a giant size of this one that's going to be plastered on the front door of the house as well. And there's a number on the back. And that number corresponds to, well, to the order they'll be in for playing one of the games, and also maybe for a door prize, because I do have prizes as well. I love throwing parties that keep people entertained. I don't like parties where everybody stands around in a corner with a glass in their hand and mumbles polite things to each other. There'll be plenty of time to do that too, but I like to keep things going. So I'm excited about it. I hope this is going to, I hope everybody else will have a good time at it. And oh, I've got some other crazy things planned as well, and I'll let you know what those are, and I'll let you see some of them too, because I intend to do some video clips from the party as well. Hey, it's a biggie. It's my 60th. All right, I don't know how I got there, but one day I woke up and I'm almost 60. So I'm going into this with a bang, because as far as I'm concerned, my mother says, well, you're now moving into your golden years. No. She says, well, you're middle-aged at least. I said, no. Well, if middle age means that I'm halfway through, I'm not kicking off till 120, then yeah, I'm middle-aged. Don't feel it. I still feel 23. Wish I looked it. Oh well, okay, so that's been the week, and I know this went on for a while, but don't they all? So thanks for joining me, and I'm going to finish my coffee and get this posted onto the channel, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.